Hello, welcome back to Micro Squad. My name is Gabby. We're going to do a hip routine today, a high intensity Pilates. We are using our body weight plus a 15-pound Bala Beam. So it's a bar with some grooves in it. If you have something similar, that's what we're using today. So we're going to start on our backs and use the beam up over our heads, and we'll start in a tabletop position. I gotta fix my ponytail really quick. There we go. So hands in those grooves here, really comfy position, shoulders stacked right underneath those wrists about hip or shoulder width apart. Then from here, make your way into that tabletop position. So you want that low back pressed down, keep that bar just right above you, that beam, and bending those knees, 90-degree bend, low back pressing down so that engages those lower abdominals. We're going to tap our toes alternating in 3, 2, 1. So toes tap down, they come back to this 90-degree bend. Alternating legs here. So one tap, meet back at that 90 degrees. Keeping the low back down this whole time. So move really, really slow and keep breathing. So I know that low back wants to creep up here. So keeping that core really tight, strengthening the whole core area, using those low abdominals and a little bit of those obliques as you alternate those legs. Just warming up here. We're going to straighten out those legs in 10. So just legs right up the wall. Straighten them out. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so legs are going to go straight up the wall. And then we're going to send the beam out, maybe 45-degree angle, and same with the toes. So going out and then back to this position. So right where we started with those wrists over the shoulders. They go a little bit behind the shoulders. Same thing here with that low back. Really press it down. Make sure if it starts to lift at all, the low back, just stop right there and come back. Don't need to go like super far. You'll definitely feel it. I feel shakes the moment my wrists go behind the shoulders and my toes drop. Keeping those legs straight. Actively squeeze your inner thighs together here. Good. Almost there. We're going to meet back in that position, legs up the wall, wrists over those shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to lift those hands up towards those toes, little toe touches. Good. So you're keeping those feet lifted, those toes pointed, inner thighs squeezed, lifting up. Good. This is getting those top abdominals, the whole core. If you need a little break, you can let those feet rest and just lift up. Think about reaching towards the ceiling. And then we got about 15 more seconds. So if you took a little break with those feet down, bring them up for these last 10. Good. Get a couple more in. We're going to drop those feet in 3, 2, and 1. If you need a little break from that beam also above head, take a little break here. We're going to move into some skull crushers, and we're going to be in a glute bridge. So getting into that, hips go up to the sky, feet are about hip width distance apart, heels press down, hips go up here. Then getting the arms into position, same way we started. Wrists over those shoulders. So get into that glute bridge here. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs. My feet are about hip width distance. Whew. Engaging that core, we're going to move into those skull crushers in 3, 2, and 1. So dropping those wrists down. Everything else is staying still. So those elbows are stacked over the shoulders and they don't move here. So just from the elbow down to the wrist, that's the hinge. That's the only hinge you want. Elbows stay still. Good. Feeling it in those triceps here. Feeling it in those glutes, staying in that glute bridge. If that's too much, you can just drop those hips down, still get that tricep burn without that glute bridge. Good. So if you want a little bit more, you're in that glute bridge and then working on those triceps. So good. Good. We're going to hold it all the way down in 3, 2, and 1. So next one, you bend those elbows, just a little pulse here. So up and up, not bending, not straightening your arms all the way, keeping those elbows super still, just lifting the palms up and up. Good. So good. Full range coming back. So all the way up, all the way down, that tricep extension in 3, 2, 1. Good. Really feeling that burn in the tricep. Got those shakes. So good. Keeping that glute bridge, those hips high. We're going to move into glute bridges. Yeah, with that beam over our hips in 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. So if you can, for the transition, try to stay in that glute bridge. Bring that beam right over those hips. And then from here, we're going almost all the way down. You're going to roll the spine down really slow and then lift back up. So rolling that spine down, and then I'm actually keeping my glutes hovered over the floor and then lifting back up. That keeps my glutes engaged this whole time. Nice. So we have that 15 pounds resting on our hips, squeezing as we lift up, keeping that core really tight through this whole move. Really feeling it in those glutes here, feeling it in those inner thighs. Really good, so strong. Again, I'm hovering my booty over the floor, so I'm not coming down all the way, and then I'm squeezing to lift up, staying tight in the core. I just have a little loose grip on this beam. That way there's a little extra weight in those hips. Doing so good. Really firing up those glutes. We got some upper body up next. We're going to come to our knees in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Little break from those glutes, coming up to those knees. All right, so moving into, we're going to do some bicep work. We're going to do a serve the platter and then some curls. So got the palms flipped up, just my hand placement here, and it's on those grooves. It's really comfortable with this Bala Beam with those grooves in there. So we're going to do a serve the platter. Palms are lifted, starting in a bicep curl. You reach your fingertips forward, come back to that bicep curl. Good, so the beam's not going up and down like a curl. You're reaching forward and then coming back. So this one, you'll feel it a little bit in the shoulders too, because you're reaching forward. As that beam goes far away, you'll feel it in the shoulders. We got those biceps engaged that whole time. So see from the side, elbows right next to the ribs, and then bring them right back where they started. And then this beam's coming up a little bit under, like eye level, a little bit over my shoulders. Good. Almost there. We're going to do a little bit more of a bicep burn. We got curls in 8. You're just going to meet right here with those elbows next to those ribs in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet here. Drop it down, not extending all the way, and then curl it all the way up. So you want to keep bicep tension here. Awesome. So just like those skull crushers, you want everything to stay still, just that hinge at that elbow. Good, so when we keep everything else still, we just target that one muscle. This one is those biceps, still have those palms flipped up. And then since this beam hits my thighs right here, I'm able to keep the activation in my biceps, whereas if you had 2 dumbbells, you could extend your arms all the way to the side. So I love this one because you can really burn out those biceps here, more so than those dumbbells. Good, just finishing off these clean bicep curls. This ball of weight like really forces you to have that good form. So keep it up, doing good. We're gonna stand it all the way up. We have some lower body coming up. So you can just leave the beam on the floor. We'll stand up, I'll get you there. In 4, 3, 2, and 1, good. Beam's gonna go down, we're gonna stand up. So I'm gonna adjust so this beam's right in front of me. We're gonna do a deadlift where we pick up that beam. When we stand up at the top, we're gonna flip the beam over so that our palms are facing up. We're gonna have the beam in front of us for a front squat, and we're gonna squat with it. So it's gonna be a little combo thing with the beam. So feet are gonna be a little bit more than hip width distance apart, and you're actively trying to push those knees out to the side. Make sure they don't cave in like this. We wanna push them out. So starting off, palms are facing your body, and you're gonna lift this weight up to your hips. You're gonna flip so that the elbows are bent, and this beam is resting on your shoulders just like this, and then take it to a squat. And then you're gonna start over. So you flip them down, deadlift, slight bend in the knees, flip, front squat. Good. So those hands are running down those shins when you do that deadlift. You got a soft bend in those knees, hinging at the hips, flipping the palms up when you stand, and then resting that beam on your shoulders. I'm going to show you from the side so you can see that hinge of the hips, the core stays tight. Come to the top, flip the wrists. This beam's resting on my shoulders here. Into that front squat. Really good. Getting those hamstrings engaged here, those glutes, those outer thighs, that core has to stay super stable in that front squat. Getting those quads as well. All the muscles here, so good. Really good work. Make sure those knees are actively pointing outward. Make sure you bend those knees. Hinge at those hips for that squat and that deadlift. Good, that core staying super tight this whole time. Doing good. We got about 10 more seconds here. Try to get 2 more reps in. So 1 full rep here with the deadlift front squat, and 1 more. All the way down up to that front squat. All right, really good work. We're gonna make the beam, we're gonna make its way to the back of our shoulders now. So it has that really nice groove for this to just rest on your shoulders. We're not gonna let go, we're gonna hang on to it, but just showing you this really nice groove. If you just spin it, it should just sit there really comfortably. We're gonna move into some curtsy lunges. So we're gonna do each leg. I'm gonna start with my right leg going back. And rather than a back lunge, we're gonna step it out to the side like a corner. And then as we come up, just tap the toe here. So you're keeping all the weight in the left leg. You're stepping out to the side for a curtsy lunge, tapping the toe. Really good. You want to keep those shoulders over those hips. It's probably a good place for them to be. You don't need to crunch over too much. Try to keep that chest pretty high. And then you should feel it in this side glute, that left side. So feeling it in that side glute. We're staying active in that left side if we're just tapping the toe. So you can see my toe just tapping. I'm not standing up all the way. I'm sort of balancing on this left foot that whole time. That'll really target this left side. We got the right side after this, so we're just switching it up. Really good here. So that curtsy lunge, should feel it a lot in those side glutes here. Keeping the core tight as well so that we don't feel this in our low back. Really good. We're going to switch it out. Other side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Shake out that left side. Let's get right into that right side. So that means that right foot's planted. That left leg is coming around, tapping it out. So left leg steps back at a little bit of an angle. Yeah, so I'm kind of wrapping it around and then tapping it out. So all that weight stays in that right side. Shoulders, once again, stay over those hips. Think of your chest lifting rather than hinging over. And then really strong with this 15 pounds behind us as we lift up. So powerful here. Little toe tap, lots of weight in that right side. Feeling it in this right side now, giving it the same love we did on the other. Good, we're gonna keep this beam right behind us. We're gonna do some lateral lunges, so out to the side. Coming up in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, shake it out. Whew. Let's try to keep that beam right above those shoulders. We're gonna start with a really, really wide stance, as wide as you can. Toes are facing out. Then from here, we're gonna lunge into each side. We're gonna not move our feet at all. They're gonna stay planted. So you're gonna lunge into one side, come back to center, feet are planted, hit the other side. So alternating sides. Being really mindful of the knees here. So as you lunge down, your knee should track over your pinky toe. Like so, really push it out here. And then make sure you're still hinging at those hips, just like we did in those deadlifts and front squats. You wanna see this hinge I got from the side view. Good, otherwise, if you don't have that hinge, you're gonna get a little bit of that knee caving in or like too much weight over it. And you really wanna keep this in the glutes and the side outer thigh muscles. Little hinge here, that's fine, of the upper body. So as those hips go out, the upper body's naturally gonna come a little bit forward, more than those lunges for sure. So that's fine. Keeping that core engaged so you can feel those obliques working. Awesome job. Keep it up here. You guys are so strong. Doing really good. We're gonna do some upper body after this, so changing it up from that lower body. Actually, we're just gonna do upper body, one move, come back down to where we started for one more core move, and that's it. So you're in the final moments of class. Knowing that, give it all you got for these last moves. I know we like to manage our energy here, so this is the time to give it all you got. You got one upper body and one core. All right, we're gonna meet. Let's just stand it up with that, with the weight still behind your neck. In 3, 2, and 1. Whew. So stand it all the way up, trying to keep this weight still racked behind your neck. We're gonna do sort of a lat pull down. So I want those hands really wide. So at the end, I'd say like 2 inches in. So not at this groove right here. You can see my elbows are a little bit wider in like a W position. And then we're gonna do, like I said, a lat pull down. So you want that weight to go overhead. And then you're gonna bend the elbows. You're really gonna squeeze the lats to let that, you're not pulling down, but you're in charge of where this weight goes. So you're using those lats to sort of bring down that weight and then pushing it back up. So you'll definitely feel it in the shoulders. I feel it in the chest a little bit too, since we have that wide grip. And then of course, feeling it in the lats here. So you want to feel it in those back muscles, so strong, and then pushing it back up. This weight is pretty heavy overhead, so please give your knees a little soft bend. It'll help. Once again, definitely feel it in the shoulders, a little bit in the chest, definitely in the lats. If you need a little rest, that's fine. Kind of feeling like a little kink in my neck, but so strong. We only got one more move after this, and it's on the floor. Good, make sure to keep that soft bend. Core stays really tight. Get a couple more in. 6 more seconds. Try to get 2 in. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Whew. All right, meeting down on the floor, finishing it off here. Option to keep this beam. If it's just too much, that's fine. What we're gonna do is just keep it right overhead, laying down on our backs. My ponytail. Got it. All right, so just right overhead. If it's too much, no need for the beam. And we're gonna do some straight leg and bent legs, like tuck ups. So we're gonna extend the legs and then bring them back to those bent knees. So really similar moves to how we started. And then just keeping that beam right overhead. Good. If you're feeling really good, you can always get that chest press in wherever it feels good. And then once again, if you don't have that beam, totally fine. Keep that low back press down. Just getting a little bit more core work to finish. If you feel like you can do a little bit more, you add that little chest press. Keeping those legs glued together here, bringing them to that 90-degree bend, extending all the way out, and taking it nice and slow. Good, we got 15 to go, you got it. If you took a little break to catch your breath, meet back here for these last 10. Giving it all you got for 8. Stay strong, 6. Here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. That was crazy. I have a sweat line all the way down my back. So strong, everyone. That beam is no joke. Again, I love it because I keep really clean form here. And it's pretty dang heavy, any move you do. So let me know what you guys thought. Thanks for joining us on Micro Squad. See you next time.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the Micro Squad. Please don't forget to subscribe, check out some of our other videos, and check out our on-demand classes. They are on our website, themicrosquad.com, and we'll see you next time.